On June 7, 2025, St. Peter's Square lit up as Pope Leo XIV led a moving Pentecost Vigil and Jubilee of movements, a night of unity, faith, and renewal. June 7, 2025. A night of unity, faith, and fire. Pope Leo XIV leads a powerful Pentecost Vigil and Jubilee of movements that stirs hearts across the world. In a deeply moving and spiritually charged gathering on June 7, 2025, St. Peter's Square was transformed into a living symbol of unity, diversity, and devotion, as Pope Leo XIV led the highly anticipated Pentecost Vigil and Jubilee of movements. This monumental event brought together thousands of faithful from across the world, representing Catholic movements and communities united in their mission to serve the Church and proclaim the Gospel. The air was thick with anticipation, the square illuminated by flickering candlelight, as believers waited in reverent silence for the Holy Father to begin. When Pope Leo XIV emerged, a wave of emotion swept through the crowd. This was more than just a traditional vigil. It was a Jubilee celebration that highlighted the vitality of lay ecclesial movements, new communities, and charisms that have blossomed in the Church, particularly since the Second Vatican Council. It was a moment to reflect on their mission, their witness, and their hope in a world struggling with division, war, and disillusionment. In his homily, Pope Leo XIV spoke with tenderness but firmness. He urged the faithful not to be passive observers of their faith, but active disciples, missionaries of peace, compassion, and justice. "You are not spectators," the Pope declared. "You are the heartbeat of a church that breathes through its people." His words echoed across the square, touching hearts and reigniting a sense of responsibility among those gathered. The Pope also emphasized the role of the Holy Spirit in reviving the Church, reminding everyone that Pentecost is not a distant memory, but an ongoing promise. Representatives from dozens of movements, including Focolare, Communion and Liberation, the Neo-Catechumenal Way, Sant'Egidio, and many others were present. Many of them had made pilgrimages from all corners of the globe to be there, carrying banners of joy and hope, their voices blending in hymns sung in dozens of languages. As night fell, the scene became even more powerful, a mosaic of cultures and nations united in prayer, bathed in candlelight and spiritual fervor. The highlight of the evening was the moment of collective invocation of the Holy Spirit. As the faithful raised their candles high, the Pope raised his voice in prayer, calling upon the Spirit to descend once again upon a world in need of light. In that moment, silence fell. It was as if the entire square held its breath and time stood still. What followed was an overwhelming sense of peace, something that many attendees described as unforgettable, transcendent, even miraculous. This year's vigil carried particular significance as it marked the first Pentecost Jubilee led by Pope Leo XIV, who has consistently emphasized synodality, missionary outreach, and the role of the laity. His leadership, though still in its early stages, is already reshaping how the Church engages with the modern world. And this event served as a clear sign of his commitment to empowering grassroots movements and recognizing their invaluable contributions to the Church's mission. Social media was flooded with images and clips from the vigil, candles glowing under the Roman sky, children dancing in traditional dress, elderly pilgrims weeping with joy, and above all, the Pope standing as a symbol of unity and hope. Millions watched online, many of whom shared their own stories of conversion, healing, and renewed purpose, all inspired by the gathering. As the evening came to a close, Pope Leo XIV gave his apostolic blessing and reminded everyone present, and those watching from afar, that Pentecost is not a celebration confined to one day. It is a call to action, a summons to every Christian to go forth and bring light into the darkest corners of the world. One night, one voice, one Spirit. The world watched as the Church was renewed in flame. Pentecost lives on.